All right, guys, we need an intro bit. Intro bit. Hit me with the intro bit. Intro bit.
You can't just tell me to come up with a bit on
Oh no,
on
I
command.
literally no. The intro bit is you ask Noah how he's doing, and then he
Noah, how are
goes on
you
a
doing?
tirade about fucking studying for the bar.
Noah, how is
God,
studying for the bar?
the bar is just fantastic, and I'm enjoying it so much. And I have a whole month until I do it, and that's just I'm savoring every day. And jurisdiction,
I can feel the venom in your in your speech.
it's I the fact that I can like give myself enough effort to give venom. I'm happy. I just feel so wiped, like you guys are. I'm sure prepping for Nats.
Oh, I've been prepping hard. I have not been prepping.
Ryan
Damn.
has literally said, "I'm just gonna take this deck, and if it goes well, cool. If it doesn't, I'll go play side events."
That's kind of what I've gotten. Yeah. Like this
I
Damn.
love
format
that. I love
sucks,
that he
man.
doesn't have an ego. The man doesn't have an ego like I do. I can't live like this.
No, I've just accepted that like I could spend 4 billion hours testing and then just like not have fun while versing Mitsu Ryziel, or I could just go in with a deck that probably doesn't change that much based off of the metagame and then just be fine. Because like Mermail lists, your non-engine changes, but like the deck list doesn't really change based off of the metagame. Noah, this would be a great time for you to ask that question you said you wanted to ask.
Oh yeah, how's Mermail doing?
Mermail is
I
wonderful.
absolutely forgot.
She's literally like 30 seconds ago. I don't remember if it was while I was recording. I usually record for a couple more minutes than we put up. But
Yeah, some
he asked
Patreon
me if I was
content.
liking Mermail, someone said that we should save it for the pod.
Oh, I did. I caught
You caught
myself.
yourself. Mermail is so fun. Mermail is so fun. I love barrier statching people. I love locking people out of the game. It is like a sick pleasure that I get. It's a great treat that I've never found a stun deck fun because I think I would find a lot of fun in a good stun deck.
Locals has not been fun the last like month and a half.
Motherfucker, you keep seeing me at like finals.
Yeah, I know. Let me just tell you, the sit across from Mermail had to go. All right, please, for the love of God, please give me the hand traps or the hand that beats barrier statue. Draw my hand. Oh shit!
It's been very fun. We've been having a lot of fun.
I will say it
Huh.
was very funny. The one time, game one, he's like, "I'm just gonna combo off." I have like Bialo's Boo, and I was like, "Okay, buddy."
And then I didn't. I think I talked
Yeah, when you get
myself out of it.
This is a
double
really
charming goes
sad.
crazy.
Yeah, that's true. This is such a sad time for me to be out of the game.
No, I don't think it is. This format's really bad, dog.
Is it?
I don't think
It's
it's
not
as bad
exciting.
as like I'm saying. Like I'm definitely calling it worse than it is, but it's not good. Howdy, everybody. My name is Grant.
Oh, am I going next?
I
I'm the
I don't know.
lawyer,
I kind of just
dude.
expected you guys to fill in the gaps.
Yeah,
But
I'm
we
sorry. I'm a
heard you.
little.
What do you mean? You always introduce us and we say hi. This happens every single week.
All right, fine. We'll roll
I'm,
back. Hi, my name is Grant, and I'm here with
I'm
Nick.
Nick.
Noah. I'm tired.
Anyway, so we're playing Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, we're playing Yu-Gi-Oh today. We'll go standby main.
Today we're talking about kind of how we have three topics. So one's our preparation for the NAWCQ, which I think we'll kind of brush by pretty quick. We kind of got most of it out in the intro. The second one is our predictions for the we're on July, right? July 25 ban list. We presume we're getting one at either our nationals or Euros, which I think is a pretty safe assumption. I think it's all but locked in at this point. Which, first of all, I love that they do this now. It's so fun. I guess we'll start with Nat's prep. Nick has been grinding. I have been like just kind of sitting on my laurels, and Noah has been doing nothing.
I've been studying
He's
for
studying
the
for the bar.
uniform bar exam, which honestly, it's a little.
It's probably more
Honestly,
draining than doing Yu-Gi-Oh testing. Let's be honest here.
well, I don't know about that.
Wow. Okay.
From what I've been hearing from this format, it's just maybe my algorithm has just changed because of it, but I feel like just at least in the online spaces that I occupy, the excitement for Yu-Gi-Oh is just
It's not
not
high.
there.
Again, me and Rico for the last like 2 months have been saying it's a Justice Hunter waiting room, baby. Justice Hunter waiting room.
Yeah.
The fact that everybody is excited to play Justice Hunters, like, and no one is excited to play the NAWCQ.
Listen, I don't want to play the NAWCQ because like the decks I like just aren't like just don't feel they're just not the best deck in the room. It's just clear as mud.
Yeah, you want to
So it's
talk
just
about
awkward.
your love affair with Vanquish Soul right now?
Sure we can. I think VS is an insanely good deck right now, even pre K9 stuff. I just think it's got one clear issue where the deck just can draw hands just like classic VS where it's like, wow, this hand is so close to greatness and it just doesn't do enough.
It needs an
Or
Earth.
no, or the issues I've been having though is I've been drawing only Earths. Because
Really?
now we have more Earths. I've seen hands of only those, and
That's
it's super
crazy.
awkward.
I feel like Earth's
But
are the
no,
most populous attribute, Earth and Dark, right? Yours missing fires.
uh, normally when I'm losing games like that, it's because I don't have like a fire or a dark in my hand of some kind.
Gotcha.
But again, the deck feels really good. It's a high contender for Nats. I really like the deck.
You're just between the
Wow,
two
Unless
decks.
something like really changes.
You're between Memento and Vanquish Soul, right?
Yeah, I like both those decks, and they're probably the best decks I have option wise. I've talked about how much I hate Mitsu Raziel or the Mitsu cards in general on this pod. I can't go through 11 rounds of playing Mitsu. I think
Let's
I'd lose
have a
my
good
mind.
TCG archetype, guys. We're finally gonna have a good TCG archetype. Oh, and then
Literally,
you get
everyone
one,
was
and
so excited
everybody's
that we got a
just
good
No,
TCG
no.
archetype, and
Here's
the
the
one is
issue.
awful.
My issue isn't the cards are good. My issue is every time I play them, Noah, because the deck is inherent bricks that are bad, or the deck just loses to roll. Every time I play it, I get drolled every game, or I draw a stupid Kusanagi, Aramasa, Saji, and you can't do anything if you draw too many of those guys. So
okay. Well, do you say that as like you as a player can't do anything with them, and you just need to like put in the hours, get better, don't draw those hands, or is it like we hand this to like a real player like Grant and get done?
I don't know how to take
know
that.
why I thought that was so funny. Real player like
listen.
Grant.
I just can't play the deck. It just frustrates me. I love the Razor cards, but I can't play that deck. I just can't do it.
Interesting. Damn. I thought blue cards were cool. That's what Sam told me.
That's what Sam's fucking wrong.
Didn't he drop that deck like before it
He
even
played it
started
for a
doing
week,
really well at
decided
events?
it was boring as fuck, and then dropped it.
That's
It is boring as
crazy.
fuck. The deck is not interesting. The deck does one thing and one thing only.
I don't know. Doesn't it pop like 10 cards
No, it Regekis you once.
and then pops like 10 cards?
That's like the cherry on top.
Yeah. Interesting. Damn.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
no, Nats will
well-
be,
I mentioned
again,
it
Nats will
before,
be
but-
interesting. Like the best deck in the room is going to be Mitsu Raziel, and a lot of people are going to be on it. So
Yeah. That's the worst part is like it's pretty much undisputed that Mitsu Raziel is the best deck.
That's crazy.
I've kind of conceded that like this is not going to be my year. Like I thought this was going to be my like Malice is going to be the deck, and then it just was not. So I'm kind of like hoping Yummy is going to be the deck.
But you're not going to be able to take that one to Nats.
It depends. I guess probably
That-
not, but maybe, you know.
That one's going to die before.
I'm gonna play the MST archetype is gonna be my my Nats deck.
Yep.
this
you're, there's no way that you actually want to play that deck.
year. That deck is
Runic
cool,
MST
man.
stun.
MST negates.
Sure.
There's a trap card that makes MST negate. It's super
No,
cool.
I know, but that wasn't the assertion that I
No, that deck's gonna be cool. Trust me.
sure.
No,
Let's just
no,
not.
you
Adam
don't
might
get
play
it.
that
The
deck. I
deck's
think
gonna
that might be a
cool.
reason enough to not play it.
Sorry, repeat
Fuck.
that.
I was saying that's a deck that Adam might play. So that might be a reason for you to like. If Adam plays it, why would you play it?
Why would I not play a deck just because Adam plays it?
I can't wait to see Adam and Grant on the same deck.
We
That
played
would be
Mathmic at the same
cool.
time.
Yeah, but that was before. I think that's before you two hit approximately the same level.
No, Adam's a level above me.
And I think now, if you played that deck, I could watch you guys argue about things.
Oh,
and
that
you
might
actually,
be true. He's
yeah,
definitely
you like
more like a.
coherently.
He was definitely more of a combo Andy, like 2 years ago when we played the same deck, and I'm definitely still like a combo guy. But he's kind of moved on to more control, slow decks. Like he's played Kashtira for like 2 years. He's played Bestial control. He's played Fiendsmith control. He's playing like Engine.deck right now. So he's playing like fuck. Regenesis, Bestial, Kashtira. I think he put fucking Alistair in his deck last week.
No way.
So he's been on an arc.
Is that deck real?
No,
the
wait.
Regenesis?
Which Regenesis is real?
Yes.
Regenesis is real.
Okay.
And the cards, I'll be real, the cards are neat. They have the sprite problem where they all need, or like the yummy problem where they all need a guy on the field to stick. So if you remove their like first special, you might just be good. You might just win.
Also, I thought it was really funny. I think Adam talked a total of like 10 words in the non-engine tier list. Fenrir came up, you immediately shut him down. That was all he said.
In fairness, I did tag Adam to come aboard, and he did not know what he was coming aboard with when he got it. He was literally flying blind.
Good for him.
So yeah, Nats prep's been going. I feel pretty good with Mermail right now. I've been doing pretty well at locals, and like the couple of test games I've done against Vanquishal and Lunalite, I've been doing fine in. Though I don't know at what stage in the other person's testing they were at. So like I don't know if this was like first week with the deck or like they've looked at it for a minute. I know Sam has been looking at a couple different decks. I know Hunter's been looking at a couple different decks. But yeah.
Interesting. I kind of thought all those decks wouldn't be real.
So Lunalite is actually crazy real. Lunalite's actually really good.
Damn, we main decking kaijus? Oh my god. Wait, do I have to go so I can Snake Eye Ash search Kurikara?
Do the fusions activate? They activate, right? They have their Regekis?
Oh my god.
But they're only ever going to activate them when you present a threat that outs them.
You can Kurikara them, buddy.
Oh my god.
You gotta come to Nats.
You're right. This is it.
Listen, in my VS deck, there was some discussion of playing Kurikara. So
It's a fire. No, me and Sam were talking about Mermail, and we were literally being like, I think that we might need to play like Gamma Seal in the side deck.
That's crazy.
So that deck is not only real, but it's going to be very good. A lot of pro players, like Lucas Sacco, put it at like the 3rd or 4th in his tier list.
Damn.
Yeah.
Where did we put it?
we put it in like the.
We put it in like the playable tier. I think we put it in Mermail tier. We might have
Yeah,
put
we
it in a
compared
tier
it to Mermail.
under that.
I will say, I'm pretty sure the deck is better than Mermail. I will say, after playing against it more, I think the deck's better than Mermail.
Entirely possible.
Damn.
All right.
All right.
So that's kind of how our Nats preparation is going.
I will say there's some level of prep for Nats outside of the main event. I've been playing a lot more looking at a lot of hat stuff. So if we scrub out of the main event, giant card hat, here we come, baby.
I'll be real. I have been looking at a lot of 2021 decks. I don't know why. I just really like that format. Like the Tri-Brigade, if you go to Format Library, it's Tri-Brigade format. I have like a Virtual World and a Tri-Brigade deck built, and I'm sleeving up Adagnister at the moment. I just think that format's really cool. So I've been kind of getting into it. Pretty much every time after a match, I'll present my opponent with like a pink deck box and a brown deck box, and I'll be like, all right, would you like to play one of the greatest formats ever known? And I'll show them the 2 deck boxes, and they get to pick which deck they get to play. And everyone always picks Tri-Brigade, because no one knows how to fucking pilot Virtual World.
Because it's just worse than Tri-Brigade.
It is also worse than Tri-Brigade. Tri-Brigade's the best deck in the format, you know, like.
It is Tri-Brigade format.
That's true. It's named.
This is why you gotta give people the option to play PK. That deck went crazy.
That deck went crazy. Sure. You played PK.
Yeah, the deck was good.
It was good.
People didn't out Dragoons.
It was fine.
Dragoons was good.
It was fine. Was Dragoon out at this point?
Yes.
When did Dragoons come out?
In the Megatons of that year.
In the they put Dragoon in a Megaton?
Yes.
Damn.
Looking at
This
it up.
It's in your
crazy.
VW deck. What do you mean?
Oh, it is my VW deck. You're right. In my defense, I just took it out.
I see.
I lack object permanence.
Clearly.
So, yeah, I've been getting into that format. I think that format's really cool. So, yeah. All right. Now, I think with that, we can start talking about the ban list. So I've kind of have this broken up into sections. First section we're going to talk about is the Ryziel section. I have up for consideration Ext, Sword, Ice, Eclipse Twins, and Baguska. We're just talking about Ryziel, so no Mitsu cards here. Um, I want to go against what I said previously. So I think I said previously I liked the semi limits. I'd like to walk that back. I think the semi limits were actually a horrible idea.
Why do you think this?
I just think that like now like you can't play any cool Ryziel version. Like I was never upset when my opponent was playing Fiends with Ryziel. Now it's like you can't really play that deck. You just have to play like the deck with a bunch of bricks and the super high ceiling. Like the fun ways or the cool ways to play Ryziel are no longer viable.
Yeah, I know. The version I liked died because they fucking semi-limited everything for some god-awful reason.
Yeah, I think that like it's just been a colossal miss. Also, like, how do I phrase this? I think that like semi-limiting a card is functionally useless. I think the only card that ever mattered as a semi card has been like Mali, or exactly the Malice cards or the Ryziel cards. I think those three types of cards are like the only ones that matter being semi-limited. And Ryziel and Malice, they just matter because like there's just not a lot of them. There's not a lot of now there is, but like at the time of the semi-limits, there were just not a lot of starters and extenders for those decks as it was. So I don't know. I think that like semi-limiting them in hindsight was just an awful idea. I hope they don't do it
I don't
again.
know if it was an awful idea. I think it just changes how you have to play the deck, which is unfortunate.
I don't know. I feel like playing against any Ryziel or Malice deck was much more fun. This is partially because of the Malice support and Ryziel support and Mitsu support that has come out, but I just had more fun playing against Ryziel and Malice before the semis.
Huh.
I don't know. I don't know if that's the engine card problem. I think it's just like the other stuff that came out. That's
I
the
don't
issue
know,
with the
like-
cards now.
I think Stars like also like a problem card. I think it's stupid, but I don't know if I want to blame like the entire like even like other versions of Ryziel not being fun to play against now. I don't know if I want to blame that all on Star, but I think it's a contributing factor. But I think the main problem is like they'll either draw two starters and like they'll be like FTKU, or they will draw zero and brick. You know, it's just not fun. It's just not fun.
That's fair.
That's really interesting because I feel like these hits were, very designed to, I don't know, be that preliminary hit, like we're keeping the format the same for Nats, but that's interesting that the result was not like a power hit. It was like a fun hit.
Yeah, it's really weird. I think going back, I would probably move X down to 1. I'd put Sword and Ice back at 3. And then I would move all of the Malice cards down to 1. But like I'm keeping none of them at semi-limited in my ideal list.
Huh.
Interesting.
Like what? I'm
I
never gonna
don't,
upset
like-
my opponent drawing Sword.
I don't know. Like, I want to agree with you, but I don't know if I don't know if I hate the semi-limits that much or dislike them to that degree. I think what they did inherently is fine. I just think the issue is like if you're gonna do the semi-limits, I think other stuff shouldn't have happened. I think that's the bigger issue is like if you're gonna semi-limit all the names, I don't think putting like Detonator to 1 was fair and things like
Or
that.
Bonfire to 1.
I think Bonfire to 1 was fine. I just think there was like it was just like it felt like it was a heavy hand for Raziel because now it's like you literally have to play it with another rank 4 engine of sorts.
I think I'd be completely fine if they put X to 1 and put Bonfire back to 3.
That's criminal.
No, I think
I don't know if I
I
can.
know. I'm good with Bonfire back to 3 personally. I had a lot of
yeah,
fun
I'm
with
sure you
snakes.
Listen, Snake Eyes have been getting a non-zero amount of tops.
Yeah.
All right, that's how we feel about X, Sword, and Ice.
Well,
Eclipse
wait,
Twins.
is it?
Sorry.
Is it? Question. Do we think they're going to like kill Ryziel?
Oh,
I'm
have
gonna
to
be honest with you.
imagine so,
I'm pretty
right?
sure that nothing happens on this next list. I think Raziel on this next list nothing will happen.
Really?
Let me think. I think they've got to do something, right? Like this format's
Did you
awful.
just say think?
What?
Did you just say think like you were
No, I
like
said,
thinking
I gotta
on the
think.
response to what he was saying? Okay.
Ryziel cards are getting banned. Think in response.
Yeah, I need something to counter this.
I just don't think that the Raziel cards are the problem. Like people that are doing well with the in like at German Nats, they were playing like 4 Raziel cards. I just don't think they're the problem right now.
I think I soft agree. I think that the Ryzeal cards are not the problem. I think I have beef with the ways that they interact with the Mitsu cards and the way the Mitsu cards interact with Duo Drive.
I can agree. So I think what our answer to solve this is, and there's a very clear answer.
Oh, don't worry. What's on the
I'm-
list? We'll get there. It's on the list.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, it is.
We'll talk about it when we get there. I'm also like,
Sorry,
I'm perfectly
forgive me.
fine going into the Ryzeal cards from the Mitsu cards because, like, you have to, like, kind of go out of your way to do that versus you could just do, like, if they didn't go backwards, like, if Ryzeal couldn't bridge into Mitsu, I'd have no problem with Mitsu Ryzeal because you have to kind of, like, set up a lot to actually get the Mitsu cards into the Ryzeal cards. And, like, if you want to play, like, 20 bricks in your deck, you, like, be my guest. Last up for Ryzeal, I didn't put a lot on this list because I don't think a lot needs to be said. But the other two cards I want to talk about were Eclipse Twins and Baguska. I don't think either of them are really going to get hit, but I think Eclipse Twins, if we continue to see Ryzeal do well, I think that one is definitely getting hit.
Again, I just disagree. Like, I understand the perspective, but I just think if we hit the other things that Raziel's doing, I just don't like Eclipse Twin as a card is very good, but like I just don't think it's like that big of an issue.
You see, this is why I added a qualifier. That is, if it continues to do well.
That's the issue is like I think that having that statement because on the list right now, I think we're talking about like this upcoming list, and I think on this upcoming list nothing's gonna happen
Yeah, I don't think
because I think that they're gonna get pushed like somewhat like pushed to the outside ring of the metagame.
Yeah, I think ideally what's going to happen is that they're going to shave the top off of Mitsu Ryzeal and Malice and make way for Justice Hunters. That's what I want to happen. Because I'm sick of this shit. But yeah, I don't know. I think all the hits I want to Mitsu Ryzeal, maybe X to 1, but I think all the hits I really want are in the Mitsu section. I guess we could just do that section now. I've only got 2 cards on this list. That is Prayers and King of the Fairlimps. Prayers, I pretty much just put that on there to put a second Mitsu card on the list. I really only think King of the Fairlimps has the potential to get hit here.
Yeah, I think if they ban King of the Fairlimps, that unironically fixes so much.
Yeah, because like the problem with King of the Fairlimps is you make it functionally for free over the course of the combo. You can make it several times if you really want to, but most people at this juncture are only doing it once. You make it over the course to grab Habakiri, you do all your Ryzeal stuff, and then you proceed to Mitsurugi combo once you set up Duo Drive.
Now, the only issue, I think we could have said this before German Nats and been very happy with that stance, but I think German Nats shows that that alone might not be enough, because we saw that even at German Nats, like, they're only playing 4 Razor cards to get access to King.
Yeah, but like if you're playing
like,
Sword just to like, they weren't playing Cross or anything, right?
No, they were just playing 4 names.
I'm fine with that. Whatever. I don't care. Like, functionally what they're playing is Diviner of the Herald with more flexibility. Because like if they're just using like Ice Ryzeal to make like Duo, I guess they wouldn't be making Duo Drive, would they? They would just be going like Ice for Detonator and King, right?
Pretty much, that's it, yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of fine with that. Detonator's kind of annoying on top of the end board, but I think I'm fine with that fundamentally.
You don't think we're going to see anything like pre-prep to 1?
Oh, no. That only hurts pure Mitsurugi, which I functionally don't think is an issue right now. There is a version of Mitsu Ryzeal that plays a very heavy Mitsurugi package. I don't have an issue with that as much as I have an issue with like Mitsu having access to Cross. I think Mitsu getting Cross is the problem, and not Mitsu getting like more consistency in pre-prep.
All right.
Because like,
I feel like
the issue is like the King of the Fairlimps doesn't fix that problem, because like if cards like Duo still exist, the Mitsu cards go into the Razor cards.
Yeah, but like I said earlier, I think I'm more fine with that than the other way around.
I see.
Because that requires like a little bit more investment than the other way. Because the other way, Ryzeal and Namitsu is functionally free. Like, you make 3 rank 4s over the course of the Ryzeal combo as it is. Other way around, I think it's fine. It also makes Duo Drive like as it is currently a humongous hand trap magnet. If they let you get that far, which they probably won't. You know, Mitsu's a pretty easy deck to keep off of 4s specifically. It's pretty hard to keep him off 8s, but it's easy to keep him off 4s.
All right.
Anyway, I think if you ban King, I'm happy with it. No other Raziel hits. Let's talk about Malice. Fuck, I hate this deck. Uh, I've never like turned on a deck so fast. Um, I think Dormouse, Rabbit, and Underground could all go to 1, like easily.
I don't think they're gonna go that heavy-handed.
I
In
don't
all
think they do.
honesty,
I kind of don't think there's a way to like power level hit this deck out of the game. I think they gotta go consistency to make it just not worth playing.
I think the best hit, unironically, is I think you put like the things that would because the issue is Mouse doesn't have that many 1 cards. It's got a lot of 2-card
Yeah, it's
combo
a 2-card
setups.
combo deck.
Yeah, and I think the best way to do that is remove its 2-card playability, and that's like unfortunately hitting like
What, Harem backup?
I think hitting back up to 1.
I'd be fine with a backup hit to 1. That card is crazy.
Because then the deck's more susceptible to droll. Because if they want to play more copies, they have to play cards that like AI Meet You or Sign It, and then you really get hosed by droll when the deck shouldn't lose to the card.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Yeah, I think the best case scenario is that they put like a bunch of shit to like less copies, and then they just get consistency hit out of the game. I just don't see a world where you like power level hit Malice out, because then you have to like ban Binder, which they could do, and I wouldn't be opposed to it, but I just don't think they're gonna. Two other
The
cards.
TCG, at least the TCG team is more, I think, more likely to do that kind of hit, but I just don't know if they're gonna do it.
Yeah, I agree. Master Duel is about to get full power Malice with Appaloosa, which is very funny because the OCG doesn't even have Appaloosa anymore. We could talk about the OCG ban list. That actually did not occur to me. We could talk about the OCG ban list if we have time at the end.
Or
They could ban Binder. I'd be happy with them banning Binder. That card's crazy. Two other cards.
But if they ban Binder, does the deck even operate that
no,
well
the deck
anymore?
is dead. The deck is dead. But I'm fine with that. They could also hit Gold Sark down to 0, which is it still a 2?
I don't think that
in the
does
OCG?
that much.
Is it still a 2?
It removes a 1-card starter, I guess, but it doesn't feel like it's that impactful.
It's more of so just like them hitting extenders, in the same vein.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the bonfire hit has like completely skewed my perspective on everything because I just keep going like, ooh, generic searcher to 1 now.
Yeah, well, I think them hitting Bonfire is kind of like more of an OCG-esque hit than it is a TCG hit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I don't know why it's just stuck in my head. I'm like, oh, Rhoda, they hit in like 2010 or whatever. Perfect. And they hit Bonfire now. Obviously, they're hitting all the generic starters. Sign it to 1.
They hit
I don't want to ruin your experience, but just so you know, Rhoda like went to 1 in like 2015.
Yeah, it's
Damn,
at
okay.
3 in Necros format.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. Also,
The
they
car,
hit
like the car, like
they hit Tenki down to like 1 in Tri format. I think.
and then they brought it back to 3 because it's like
What's the point?
hitting the consistent cards that are hard once per turn. It's like, does it really matter? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm more of a I think Rhoda can be at 1 because it's not once per turn. But I think they could probably all be at 3 and be fine. Like, I don't think it's the searchers' problem that they're in decks that are too good. Bonfire did have a crazy fucking year though. Bonfire had maybe the best year of any searcher, like in the last decade.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It was good. I agree.
It was good, and like 2 good decks. Ooh, good job. Everybody look at my wife's food and say she did a good job.
Excellent work. Leave that in the comments below.
Wonderful time.
Thank you. They don't have webcams on. They can't see this.
No, we see it, and it's awesome.
They see
and
it
they
in the
can see it
ether.
too.
I'm gonna keep that bit in. That bit's funny. No, Bonfire was good in 2, like a tier 0 deck, the best deck in the room after the tier 0 deck, and also Centurion.
Yep. Or Centurion.
Shout out Centurion. All right. I also said they could ban access code. I don't think they will, but they could. I think that access code, it is better now than I think it has ever been before in the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! Except maybe MathMech format. Maybe other than that, I think it is like better now than it ever has been before. The specific way that it interacts with the Malice cards is dumb, and I think that if they are going to take this card out behind the shed, which a lot of people have been calling for many years, now would be the time.
We're finally moving to the post 2019 era.
Yeah. Well, they've hit like Barone, they've hit Savage, they've hit Apo. Like, I think Access Code is in that same tier of like generic card that could just vanish in a heartbeat, and no one would be
Yeah.
particularly complaining. It's not even like Malice loses its ability to OTK. It can still do the Binder OTK or the Cryptor OTK. It's harder, but it can do it. I've got a bunch of Fiendsmith hits next. I got Engraver, Tract, Moon, Caesar. Frankly, I don't think any of these are going to hit.
Yeah, I've listened. As someone who loves the Fiends with the cards, I just don't think Konami's gonna. Konami had the best opportunity on the last list to hit them when they're seeing play in a crap ton of stuff, and they didn't do it.
Like literally, most decks were playing Fiendsmith stuff at that point. Maybe not most decks, but half the decks were. And now they've all just kind of stopped.
Yeah, like the only decks right now that are playing like Fiendsmith cards at this point are like there's like the Fiendsmith Mitsu deck and then the Live Twin deck at this point, and I think Konami kind of wants those decks to exist.
Yeah, and like
to some degree.
If they didn't hit them in the last list, they're never gonna hit them. That's my thing. That being said, I still want Caesar banned for like personal reasons. What else is there? Next up, I put Water Barrier Statue and Minstrel for Mermail hits. More so just because everyone will not stop complaining about this deck. I don't actually think it's like ban worthy at this point, but people will not stop bitching about it, so I put them on the list.
I get again. I don't know how you can't be frustrated because you didn't play Mermail. You played against it before. How did you just not feel frustrated playing against the deck that says, I'm going to look at your hand, remove any interaction you have, and then I'm going to end on a barrier statue and say, better have the out?
Because I don't think I've played against barrier statue. I don't think I've ever played against Mermail while they were doing barrier statue stuff. I think I just played it when they were doing like FDK, 4 negates, hand rip 4. And like...
I see.
I get the barrier statue. I functionally don't understand why people find the barrier statue is more annoying than the 2 Omnis plus hand rip 3. Like, I don't get it.
Well, I think they were all annoying.
Okay, that's entirely possible, but I have heard... That's not true. I've definitely heard more bitching about Mermail before. But in my locals, I've heard more bitching about Mermail the second I picked the deck up.
Oh, true.
Because you play unfun decks. We've established
No,
this.
I play fun decks. I play decks that I
no,
find
you
fun.
don't. Clearly.
Yeah, I play Barrier Statue
them
Turbo and a deck that I have admitted is the worst deck
the
to
fun
ever
part
exist.
about Mermail is not going first. The going first with Mermail is like a fucking... Did you know the YouTube combo?
Okay,
the fun part
I understand
about Mermail,
that. You can't just because you can just say it's so much fun going second. That's great.
It's
But
so
80%
fun.
of the fucking time, it's like you're going first.
No, that's not true. That might actually be true. It's not true.
I think I've beat Grant in the die roll like twice in the last month and a half.
I'm very good at die rolls.
It's a skill you gotta practice.
I think I don't remember which time it was, but the second time I ever got my invite, it was like Math Mech Circulars at 1, and I think I won like 7 die rolls that day. It was wonderful.
Yeah, it's like winning die rolls is important.
Well, yeah. I mean, let's be like the reason I like Mermail again. It's just fun to go second. It's one of the few decks that can play 12 non-engine and like 42 and be fine.
Again, it's like race. Like when you,
it's like race.
You
it's,
open
it's the same. It's the opposite side of the same coin.
No,
I agree. I think it's very fun when you get to go second and get to play the game and kind of pop off. It's great.
I agree. All right. That being said, they should ban Minstrel. Minstrel should get the ban hammer. Fuck that.
I would listen. If you did a Minstrel, at least then if I drew interaction, I could use it. Like that's my biggest gripe.
The only issue with Mermail is that the FTK is so fragile, but you get a card that gets to check all the checks.
I don't know. Maybe I'm old fashioned here, but I feel like the barrier statues, like they could all go, and I would not be sad. Just to future proof a little bit.
I mean, sure, that's like you're not.
The issue is like I'll just say this: if they went and banned barrier statue and left Minstrel, the deck just doesn't do anything.
No, you make Raiho.
Okay, Raiho is not that good.
It is not that good. You are right.
When did they ban the Wind statue?
They banned it in 2023, like the first ban list. It was the ban list that Tier died in.
Okay.
Because I think like Blue was like the second best deck at the time.
Yeah.
Are we not going to talk about Sprite? Was like the second best deck in the room, probably.
Sprite was the best deck 33% of the time.
Guess who was playing Sprite at that time?
Listen, I think
It was
Squirtle's better
actually
than
all three
Flu.
of
I
us.
just
I think on paper you're right, but in the reality of the situation where you go up to you know,
with
like
Tier being the best deck in the room, main decking 3 shifters pretty good.
yeah, but that's all you had. Like even in Sprite, that's all you had. Whereas Flu, like, you know,
Anyway,
had other stuff. It had other floodgates.
I guess, yeah.
I don't think they're gonna touch Mermail this particular juncture, but I put this on the list so people would stop complaining about it.
Like, they probably won't, but I would not be surprised if they did.
Listen,
I don't
you
know.
guys are
Last ban
free.
list was really good.
You guys are free from my watery tendrils and Sam's watery tendrils in 4 weeks. You gotta wait till Justice
Yeah.
Hunters.
I know. It'll be a grand time when that set comes
The
out.
most annoying deck in Justice Hunters is Yummy. Like, and you'll be
Clearly, yeah,
fine.
because Grant's playing it, so that makes sense.
Fuck
Mhm.
off, man.
What you prove me wrong, please? Play a base deck.
I played what deck did I play recently that you liked? Hang on.
Like Tri Sprite back in 2021.
He did
I
not.
told him the deck was bad.
I put some generic cards in the list. Droll, Lancia, Shifter. I don't think any of these are getting hit.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Frankly, I'm shocked Shifter got hit.
Shifter's at. Listen, now that Shifter's at 1, that card has zero play. Absolutely zero.
Yeah.
And it's glorious.
The decks that can play Shifter aren't even playing Shifter.
Yeah, Malice isn't playing anymore. A lot of people who are playing VS aren't really considering it in their sideboard. Like,
It's just dead. I also put Featherstorm, Protos, and Thrust on here because those 3 cards have been kind of a menace out of the board for the last 4 weeks. At first, it was a lot of Thrust for Featherstorm, and then in the last 2 or 3 weeks, people have been starting to Protos people.
yeah, I'm gonna be. Something needs to happen here. Something needs to happen. This is getting ridiculous.
Yeah, Thrust I think can stay at 3, whatever. But they gotta ban Featherstorm, man. I don't want to see Castell in fear for my life. That is not the reaction I should be having with Castell.
I fully agree. It's just silly. But it's I don't know how Konami goes about hitting this without just banning Featherstorm, and I don't think they want to re-ban Protos.
I think they should. They've rebanned stuff before. Dryden came off, then right back on, and Snatch Steal came off and right back on back in the day.
Yeah, but I think the level of play that Dryden saw compared to a card like Protos is a lot different.
I guess Protoss being used in the
They'd
best
be
deck
kinda
right now,
hidden.
though. I don't know. I could see them rebanning Protoss. I think taking that card off in the first place was a mistake. I put Tactics cross out Called By. I don't think any of these are getting hit, but I wanted to discuss. Fuck these cards.
I think the fact that Talents went to 1 on the last list and Crossout went to 1 was a godsend. But
Yeah.
now I get mad when my opponent opens up the 1-up, so it's different.
It's so funny too because Crossout's kind of bad now because you're what? You're gonna keep the Charmies in when you go first. So you can cross them out. That's not happening.
No, every time I watch people play Mitsu Raziel and stuff online, they do that, and I'm like, there's no way that's correct. There's no way.
You have 2 Charmies that fuck you over. If you play against Malice, you are putting in Charmy, Droll, and none of those cards are good into Malice when you go first. I don't know. I just don't get it. Call
No,
By though.
you're-
Call By I think is unironically the best non-engine in the game right now.
It's almost always been though. That card's just always crazy.
Yeah, and then people know how I feel about Tactics. We're not going to talk about any. Oh, I guess I have one more on this list actually. For Noah hates this card. I said we could talk about IP. I think IP is the last generic end board piece that could really conceivably get banned.
Maybe it was no, I lied.
So
Maybe it was Snake Eyes.
There's
but
lore here. So 2 years ago, for whatever reason, I don't know why he was on this arc. I don't even think IP was played in whatever deck at the time. But Noah has been on this arc where he says IP needs to be banned for 2 years. And then I've always been to disagree with Noah. No matter what opinion it is, I will disagree. And I was like, no, I think IP is fine. And then we consented, and then SB came out, and we're like, oh, maybe now. And then Noah was like, no, I think it's fine now. Uh, and so every time we talk about Banlist, we're like, oh, but Noah, you think IP is gonna get banned? He's like, no, I don't really want it banned.
Yeah. Well, the thing was, back in the day, I'm like, okay, cards like Nightmare Unicorn, Phoenix, and stuff. It's like, okay, these make sense as like going second, kind of board breaky tools, but IP just turns them into end board pieces, and that severely limits what you can design for. But with SP, it was like, oh, Konami's just designing links for IP. That makes sense. Like the 3 pointy guy that just came out, right?
Yeah,
Like,
he's very clearly an IP target.
yeah, exactly. And I think, honestly, if that is a constraint that links have to follow, especially because I think they're some of the like best extra deck monsters generally, like as long as they're being conscious about it, I'm okay if that is the case. So yeah, put it to 2.
True. You remember when they fucking semied SP in the OCG, and then
That
everyone
was
was like, "Oh, this is a
wild.
sign they're gonna ban it," and then it went to 1 on the next list, and they're like, "All right, guys, it's gonna happen. They're gonna ban it," and then it didn't move at all.
Crazy.
One of the weirdest ways to hit a card, honestly.
Yeah.
And functionally, it did nothing. It was crazy.
Well, it going
Sorry,
to 1.
Rescue Ace. It was a hit to Rescue Ace when they put it to 1.
It was having 1 SP matters.
Uh-huh.
Listen,
You
I'm
didn't get
not
it.
crazy.
No, I get it. I get it. So Gary posted on Twitter something about all the Charmies need to go to 2, right?
No, it had like semiing the Charmies, and I thought that was a very interesting thing that at least I hadn't seen before.
I know Jesse Cotton also floated the idea of all the Charmies going to 2, because I think that really the most annoying thing about the Charmies is not even when they're activated, 1 or like 2 or like one of them's activated at a time, but it's when 2 of them hit the field that I'm just fucking annoyed.
Yeah.
I think if they were the exact same, but they said you can only use 1 Molcharmy per turn, I think the cards would be perfectly fine. Because also, I feel like if you open 2 of them, you got to be like, all right, well, Fualos and Perulia, they're both good. Perulia gives me immediate benefit. Fualos is going to give you, like, probably stop them from doing more. It's one of those things.
Or it's Perulia, Ash, Fua.
Yeah. I'm going to ash my own Perulia just to feel something.
Yeah.
Um,
Just so you can't.
Yeah, I think if you could only activate 1 a turn, it'd be good. But I think I like the idea of semi-limiting them.
Yeah, because 9 is a little excessive.
I think it just limits the likelihood of you seeing like a hand of like, oh, you double charming me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like you'll probably if you play all 6, which I don't even know if you'd like Perulia and Fualos, you could probably justify playing at most points in the game. Meowls will take a specific deck. I mean, people aren't even playing it for fucking Malice right now. Meowls
I think it's just deck dependent. I think enough people are playing it right now.
Some people are, some people aren't. It depends. I think it depends on like whether or not you can break the like normal Malice board with 10 cards in hand. But where was I going with that? I think if you only see 1 of them per game, they're perfectly fine.
Interesting. Damn, I kind of thought there'd be a little bit more there. All right.
No, yeah, and like the in reality, like the thing that makes the Charmies like so, in my opinion, good for the game is not the actual Charmies hitting the field. It's the threat of the Charmies hitting the field. So, like, if you're deck building around the Charmies, you got to consider, like, if I get Charmied, what's the game plan? Maybe you're like Mermail, or you're like Mermail, where you just barrel through and you're like hope for the best. Or if you're like Ryzeal, you just have a backup plan where you make Detonator pass, give them like 1 or 2 draws, and then you just like Detonator's probably good enough on its own. I think that that's like a perfectly fine place for the game to be. It's never like a deck that is hard stopped by Charmies is usually not a deck that I'm happy to be playing against.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting to have that kind of concept because we see decks like Memento right now where it's like if it gets charming, it's like okay, that's cool. I'm just gonna opt to give you like a draw and end on everything but the supplementary engine I'm choosing to play, and that'll be enough.
The also nice thing about Memento is they play like 0 non-engine beyond Charmies. They like maybe play Ash or Droplet. So like you're pretty sure that like what you see on the field is what you're gonna get. Like I'm probably not gonna get like double hand trapped on top of the Memento field. All right, so we're gonna talk about the OCG ban list real fast. This is you guys probably didn't hear it because I didn't leave it in, but this is after I completely looked at the wrong ban list and was like, didn't Anti-Spell get hit? Where's Anti-Spell on this list? They also
Yeah.
forgot to put in Appaloosa, so we were just sitting there like, what the fuck?
So if you
But we
want to
have it.
hear
We
our
have it now.
thoughts on, if you want to
Um,
hear our thoughts on last April's OCG list, make sure to subscribe to Patreon.
I'm so mad these bastards get it every 3 months, man.
I don't know if you should be. Their lists are pretty minimal.
Well, this one was kind of crazy. So I'll start with the unlimited cards. Cyberjar went from 2 to 3. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Doesn't matter.
Wow.
Zodiac Trident went from 1 to 3. Does nothing. Whatever. Speedroid Terratop went from 2 to 3. Is relevant, but isn't gonna matter.
True.
Rescue Ace Airlifter. Nick, if you want a pog, you can.
Bug!
All
They
right,
have 3, but the issue is OCG, they only have 1 emergency, so it kind of sucks.
You have OSS.
You're right.
Yeah, that's true. They do have OSS, then maybe that makes up for it, but only 1 emergency does kind of suck.
We didn't talk about it, but Master Duel banned Oak a couple weeks ago. It's still so funny to me.
That was awesome.
Nightmare Throne went from 2 to 3. Sure.
Crazy.
Fusion Destiny went from 2 to 3. Both of you, if you want to.
Crazy!
Pig Welcome Pig Welcome was on their fucking ban list. It went from 2 to 3. Bright Jet 1 to 2.
Oh my god.
Bug!
Let's go.
Mass Change 2 from 1 to 2. I think this was limited
Fuck!
during tier format.
Huh?
If people just started making Dark Law and Sprite.
I don't know. I think I got hit. I think it was well hit in OCG before that, but I don't remember.
That was awesome.
Oh, this stupid Winged Beast went from 0 to 1. We don't have to worry about that. Nick, that was your cue. That was Griffin Rider.
Oh, it was?
Bug. Let's go!
It was at 1?
It's banned, and it went to
Oh,
1.
wait.
It's back at 1 now.
I knew that. I actually knew that.
Nightmare Goblin went from 0 to 1, which I think we'll probably see in our card game pretty soon.
That's probably fair.
Anti-Spell went from 3 to 1.
Good.
Appaloosa. This is like the big one. Appo got banned in the OCG.
That's
Glorious.
fantastic.
Malice finally doesn't have Appo. I can't imagine playing against Malice and they have this card.
Malice must have been insufferable, man. It's already okay in the nib, like.
This just makes it like literally like way better.
And then the last hit is Paradise Smashers, which went right from 3 to 0. Which is such a funny card to get banned. I know why it got banned. It's because like it's an FTK if you can assemble 3/5s. But it's such a funny hit, man.
What's crazy is the people in OCG when they're playing this, they were using it to beat hand traps. They would go into Paradise Smasher as like first thing, declare effect, and then because it's a 91% chance to win, they would just turn off hand traps and then just combo after.
That's crazy.
God, I hope they hit this card in the next like couple weeks. I don't want to deal with K9 to being able to do this. You made a die roll card good. It's crazy. I'm pretty sure Memento is doing this now, right? The Paradise.
No, I've been like, people have been saying this to me, and I'm sitting here going, how are you assembling 3/5s in Memento? I'm really trying to think.
I think they are summoning 2 horse and an Akihiron.
There's no way that's worth. That seems like so much investment.
I did see
it
it
win
in
you the game.
I did see it in Hunter's deck list a couple weeks ago.
Crazy. Actually crazy.
He was also playing it in Vanquish Soul.
Yeah, we're testing out the idea of playing it in VS right now. We're not
just, like,
sold
do
on
it
it.
with 3 Sues or like what's your other?
No, it's literally if you
five, right?
if you open up Su Jiaolong, you can do the entire setup to make Paradise Smasher.
Imagine you like lose though.
Yeah, I know.
Just imagine.
Just imagine.
But what if you don't?
Whoa. Imagine.
Imagine. All right, that's it for the OCG ban list. Honestly, this is not bad. I think they could have done nothing and ban Appo and been fine.
I think a big thing that we've already there's been a shift in OCG after this initial thing where Yummies had more representation than VS, but I think that's just like a people like, oh, we lost Paradise Smasher. This deck's so bad, and like people just haven't
I think it like
thought more
goes
about
in
it.
waves, you know. I don't think that like Yummy is like significantly worse than Vanquish Soul or like K9. And so like I think either of them could be the best deck at any particular point. It's kind of what people congeal on.
That's what, yeah, and I think people after this list were just congealing on Yummy because it lost nothing.
Yeah, it'll go back and forth, I think. Because I think like those two are more equal in power level than like the rest of the decks. It's so crazy how much they released a good Super Poly for Dragon Tail, and that deck fell the fuck off.
It's not a super play. It's a target you make and you end on it.
Yeah, but you can also Super Poly the Dragon Tail end board with it.
The end board's like one dude.
Don't they end on two dudes? I don't actually know what the end board is.
I don't think they do.
Full disclosure: I've been told you can just Super Poly Dragon Tail, and then you lose. Or then
Is that like the worst deck out of the three of them?
It is. It is.
What a shame.
And when we say worse, it's like we're talking like it's still very much in the same.
Yeah, the tier
It's like a
1.5
tier-
to the 2 tier 1s.
It's like a two. It's like a tier 2 deck, I would say.
Okay.
I don't know. I think I would know. I think it's like a 1 point. It's like it's very close in my opinion. It's probably got to open a little bit better than the other two decks.
Do we want to do anything any last minute Nats anything?
Last minute Nats anything.
I'm just trying to think. I don't know. I feel like I guess I've watched.
Oh, you know what we
videos,
should
but-
do? We should tell people if they find if they come talk if they want a sponsored by Logan sticker, they come find us. I'll give out sponsored Logan stickers. That'd be funny.
So, backstory. We have a buddy Logan. He's on the team, right? He just is like the card like loan shark. He'll just like lend everybody cards for whatever they need. I'm pretty sure Adam at Locals yesterday walked up to Logan and said, "Hey, are you going to Nats?" Logan said no and then he said, "Okay, can your Perulias go to Nats?" Like he's asking fucking your permission to go on a play date. So usually the deal is you have to have a sticker that says sponsored by Logan if you do this. And it actually saved Nick's ass when he forgot his deck box at his table once.
Okay, listen. This is the only time it's ever happened. And thank the goddamn Lord for the sticker that Logan had provided me.
All right, I think we are all set for this one. Any closing remarks?
Have fun at Nats.
Have fun at Nats.
It'll be a good time. I'm excited. Side events will be fun. Main event will be kind of cringe, but
I think we're all just waiting
I don't
for
know.
side events.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to go in with that mindset, but that's how it feels.
That's This is your top. You day 2'd last year.
I know, Noah, but this format's so bad.
I remember somebody saying at the beginning of the podcast that they were simply unable to not give 150%. I don't know where he went, but
No, you're right. You're right.
That would
I'm
hurt
fucking...
his soul.
All right, Noah, you're right.
if we don't have faith in you, who do we have faith in? Adam? Rico doesn't play the game anymore. I can't be there to carry this year, so like
Rico shows up like every other or every third week at this point.
He's been there every week. He just missed last week. He's just been busy.
Just been busy. Motherfucker, he's been busy. He's got Nats.
exactly.
What's he
I
playing?
don't know what to tell
Orchestra?
you.
Or has he not made the decision yet?
Rico doesn't make the decision until
I
the
was gonna
day
say,
of the
there's
event. What do
no
you
way in
mean?
hell he's
So-
made the decision.
Nick is picking me up on the way to Indianapolis because I live south of him, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna sit in the car like tangential to Rico, and I'm gonna ask him what he's gonna play, and he'll be like, I don't know, and then like we'll get to like the venue, and he'll be like, I don't know.
No, we'll be sitting in the Airbnb on Thursday night. He's like,
Brandon.
honestly,
This motherfucker
that seems
would.
like a very Rico move. He's like, fuck it, I'll play Brandon.
Do you know how close he was to playing Brandon last year? I wouldn't have even blamed
Extremely.
him. Brandon was pretty good at Nats last year.
I know. He played Ritual Beast, and he did pretty good with Ritual Beast last year.
He went like 6-3, right?
Yep.
That is a motherfucker who does not test.
I'll tell you right. Rico is an individual that does a lot of like online like test hands. He'll play against himself on DB. He's that kind of
He
person.
has 2 DB accounts, or he'll just like pretend.
He'll open 2 DB pages and play them optimally against each other.
That's kind of goated, actually. I might start doing that. Wait a
He
minute.
told
That's
me
kind of a
about
good
it back
idea.
like it's. Yeah, he told me about it back during like Snake Eye, and I'm like, huh.
I will say you get to really learn how well you need to use the interact because you truly are learning both decks, and you really get to learn like this interaction is really good here, this interaction is way better here.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of goated. That's a tips for Nats that with the Team Evo pod.
Yep, sit alone on your computer staring for hours, and I mean
Simply
like hours.
Invest in a second Oh my fucking god! So, I know I have a story for everything at this point. At work, Dana, one of my coworkers, she's also on the team, but she's one of my coworkers now. She has like 4 monitors.
That's crazy.
She had to buy a special bracket for her monitors.
How do you use? Listen, I'm kind of in the camp where I kind of want a 3rd monitor, but I can't imagine having 4. That seems a little overkill.
I have like 3, I think. So I've got like my 2 monitors in front of me, and then like I have a remote dual set up to my left. Like I have an L desk, and if I turn to my left, like there's another monitor there. But that's pretty much just for YouTube videos while I'm doing like test combos, because I have a YGO playmat in front of that. So that's for that, or like I'm doing like a remote dual, put Discord on that screen.
Or you'll have the podcast up to bump views.
That's true. Can you imagine listening to your own podcast? That's actually the thing. I do listen to this podcast.
Again, me and Noah are both in camp. Like, good on you, man. We don't do that.
No.
Someone's got to edit it.
I don't like the
Someone's
sound
got to
of this
take out
here
all
voice.
the allusions to the 3rd topic we just didn't get to today.
That's true.
Someone's got to take out every instance of Noah talking like this, where he takes like 30-second breaks between every second.
I don't understand.
You just oh my god!
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna
Never
put a
happened.
timer on screen. That's like counter for every time you've done that this episode.
Not once in my whole goddamn
Once
life.
in his whole fucking life. It was so funny
Okay,
because you just did it, and I know you didn't intend to do that as a bit. I knew you were just doing
Yeah.
it.
No, it was a bit. It was totally a bit.
We all have our little quirks. I say like 4 billion times a second, and I cut them all out.
Good on you.
I'm very persistent. Pretty recently, though, I've just been like letting it go. I'll listen to it like I'm playing a video game, and then every now and again I'll snap in, cut a part out, and then keep going.
I see.
Oh, for those who don't know, so we had an episode we were going to release like 2 weeks ago. This is a lost episode. It was like we were talking about the Edison shit, right? And I was going through it and I was editing it. I get like it's like an hour and a half episode, and I'm getting like an hour into editing it, and I'm like, all right, let me go back. I'm like 2/3 done. Let me go back and listen to it, and it is not fucking listenable. It is just fucking bad. We're rambling. We're like arguing, but not in a comedic way. We're arguing in a very civil way, and it's very boring.
And the Edison
I know what you
shit.
want. You brought on a civil discussion that needed to happen, and we got a civil
No,
argument
I want
out of
screaming. No, there was one point where I was like objectively, factually correct about something. I think it's whether or not the OG ever had like Edison format. And Nick keeps saying, no, they did. They had it at some point. And I looked it up and I said, no, they don't. Here is the proof. And then Nick was like, okay. And I'm like, what do you mean, okay? I've been arguing about this last 10 minutes. I need you to concede.
You're such a worm. You win an argument with Nick, and then we cut it, and then you're like, no, the podcast needs to know I won the argument.
He can't live with himself unless he knows he won, honestly.
Yeah.
I just, it's so frustrating. I was like legitimately frustrated during the argument. I just didn't like how fast we moved on. This is like a 10-minute thing. We stayed on this point for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, and I'm sorry that my ADHD brain said, all right, cool.
No,
let's
it
move
was
on."
something that was so clearly wrong.
Okay, and I said, okay, and we moved on. I don't know. What do you want?
I want you to concede in the marketplace of ideas. I want you to apologize. No, I'm kidding.
You don't ever apologize to me for nothing. Why would I apologize to you for anything?
Listen, that part was a bit. All right. I suppose one last thing because I saw it on Twitter today and I just thought it was funny. Do you guys believe in horse theory for Yu-Gi-Oh?
I saw this in the meme chat, and I'm telling you right now, I think I don't want to agree with this statement because I think it's the dumbest thing ever. But I have this deep guttural issue when I'm playing VS. I'm like, oh, this deck's super inconsistent. I'm not gonna draw well. And every time I think that, I draw some of the worst hands imaginable with this goddamn deck. So
What's
I'm
horse
like,
theory?
Okay, so
Help
horse
me out
theory
here.
is the belief that your deck can sense when you are nervous, like a horse. And so if you are nervous and you're gonna think you're gonna brick, you will brick.
Oh, 100%.
I'm not a spiritual person. I think Noah has gone on record in calling me the least spiritual person he knows. But I believe horseshoe theory, or not horseshoe theory. I believe horse theory.
Well, I believe horseshoe theory too, but
Unrelated.
no, you've got to just get on the same level as your deck. Okay. I don't know about horse theory particularly, but I feel like if there are incongruencies, then the deck will feel it, and there will be an uneasiness.
It'll be like
I will say, for
a
the amount of
rift.
times people told me race is extremely bricky, and I'm like, I don't brick with this deck.
Yeah.
This deck's
You see,
goated.
that's been my experience with Mermail. They were like, this deck is bricky, and I'm looking at my hand of like going second. I got Poseidra, two Charmies, an Impulse, and a fucking Eptabus. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Honestly, it might just be a skill issue. You really gotta go into it and saying, like people always say, it's like mental over. Like you gotta have a good mental game. It's like going in. It's like I'm gonna win this event. I'm going in to win.
I am
That's
going to
right.
bury statue people, and they are going to not have fun.
We should have an episode on mental one of these times.
The mental, winning the mental. I don't think we're very good at winning the mental, Noah.
I've gotten a lot better at winning the mental. I used to be very bad. I'm a lot better.
Noah, do you remember the time we went to locals? This is like 2 years ago. I'm playing
Oh
Marincess.
my god.
He already knows. I'm playing Marincess.
Yeah.
He's playing like Sprite, and he ends in like full Sprite board. And then
No, I was playing Gishki
You were playing
Sprite, which
Gishki
was a deck
Sprite.
I was coping on for so long. This is the first time I'd ever resolved the ritual spell.
And I'm playing in Marincess. And I think like I open like Dark Ruler evenly. No, it was Dark Ruler evenly, and like two Marincess names or some shit, right? And so, he
And a
like
kaiju.
no. You were playing Adventure Sprite because you had because I went to I said go to battle and you activated a Griffin Rider. So I say go to battle because I have two Evenlies and he's got like no carrot. He's got carrot on the field, but I have two Evenlies, and I know he has Griffin Rider in hand, but I kind of need him to just like activate it. So he goes Griffin Rider, summon. I Dark Ruler. I go to battle. I think he starters for a second carrot, or maybe. I don't exactly remember, but he had a negate up, and I go evenly, and he's like, "Ha, carrot," and then he's like, I look at him, and it's like, "All right, second evenly." And I think was that the time your battery in your car died?
No, okay, let me get the full ride. So yeah, it was Dark Ruler, and you evenly away Dark Ruler after I summon Griffin, evenly me twice, and you leave me alone on Evagishki Naramantis. The monster negate, when it's sent to graveyard, does something cool. And then you kaiju it away, and I'm just like, no, I think I'm done playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Today. I go out, car that I'm borrowing from aforementioned Dana, is just dead. And I'm like, oh, I might have like rolled into the parking lot here. So I walk across the street to a gas station, and it's like I don't want to say a highway,
It is.
but the
It's
whole time
functionally
I'm
like
just
a small highway.
yeah. Whole time I'm just
Malding.
but somewhere between malding and laughing at how stupid my whole like because I rage quit locals, I go out to the car and the car is broken. Like that's something out of a cartoon.
Also, no, if you want to talk about that, I had this happened like this I don't know when this happened. This is like right after the ban list happened. It's like week 1 or 2 after ban list goes into effect, and my feats with Razor deck, it's done. It's not as playable anymore. It's sad. I'm not happy. I roll up the locals. I play against Hunter. I'm playing Primite Razor,
I
trying to
already
make
know.
Featherstorm and Dromium work. I get blown the fuck out by Hunter. So I was like, all right, cool. My mental blows you out. It's standard, whatever. We move on. We go next round. I play against Grant. Grant's playing a 60-card pile.
It's okay,
Bullshit
no.
deck of Mananium, Azamina,
Oh
Diabell
my
Star.
God.
It was the
Um,
1 week where Triff posted a thing that was like, you need to be playing like LZ in Vanadium. And I was like, there is simply no way. And then I realized that like the LZ Azamina guy, you can go like Riem Hart plus Ball to make what you call it? The guy. What's his name?
Trisecta?
No, the 6, the White Forest 6. Arcia.
Oh,
You
Russia.
make Rusia send like a field spell you've already activated, add LZ Azamina, summon it, make Amritara, and then you trigger Amritara and the LZ, and then you just do full like Diabellstar combo for Azamina stuff, and then you do the Vanadium stuff. It's a stupid combo deck. I was playing 60 cards. I physically could not hold it in my hands. I think I was playing all breakers and Charmies.
Yeah, so I play against him. I win game 1. We go to game 2. I get blown like he ends on the full board. I can't do nothing. We go to game 3. He double Charmies me. I give him like one or two draws, and in 60 cards he's playing, and he like literally I activate Detonator. I pop a card. And he goes first.
It was like, no, you droll me.
Oh yeah, I droll you turn 1.
So
you pass. I can't
Reichhard.
kill you.
Or Reichphobia, and then you have Detonator, like, oh, I'm just gonna droll him.
Yeah, so I droll him, and then on res he's like, all right, cool. Talents, after it gets limited in 60, I was like, Detonator pop itself, pop it, and then he does the entire OTK line because he just has every single piece anyway, and I die.
It was very
literally
fun. That deck was awesome.
The quickest way I have left locals in a long time, and I normally stick it out. And after this, I was like, nope, I'm done.
I think you
didn't
go to dinner that night either.
No, I was like, I was dealing with a lot of shit, and I was like, I want to go the fuck home. I'm going home.
No, Grant kaiju'd me, and I'm like, I could be at home with my wife right now. I remember having that distinct thought.
Have we told the audience about going wife mode yet?
Yes, I think we most
Probably.
definitely have mentioned it before.
Okay.
Remember when we did the outro like 10 minutes ago? That was fun.
Remember when I was saying this episode was gonna be like 50 minutes long?
Yeah,
Oh boy. All right, I think let's call it there. We'll see you guys later.
sure.
Goodbye.
Yep.
Adios.
See ya. Have fun at Nats.
Like you
We'll
want to.
try.
Do it for me. No, the audience. Do it for me.
Take Snake out. You'll
Eyes, do it
make
for
Noah
him.
proud.
Yeah, please. That'd be awesome.